Hi there girls, Mr. Gilmore here, just coming again with another one of our videos on transformational geometry, or transformation geometry as it says in the textbook. I've been looking through some of the work from yesterday, and I've just noticed a few issues that I'd kind of like to clear up. Firstly, one or two of you aren't using a mat set. I'm not accepting work that doesn't have a mat set used. Like, if you're just drawing lines, that's pointless to me. You need to use a mat set. And be careful with the line being parallel. I think some of you are just using a ruler. You have got to use your set squares. You have got to use a ruler. It has got to be a parallel line. Be sure to label the image, and also make sure that the image is traveling the correct distance. So I'll show you what I mean by this. Here we have X, and it's going to be placed on the transformation AB. So again, we're going to line this up. Okay. Slide it down. And then just draw a line. Okay. That wasn't greatly done, but we'll erase what was poured. There we go. So we've done the line, and some of you are just stopping at that point. Please don't do that. Please measure the line, okay, 3 centimeters. So make sure that your line is 3 centimeters long. And then some of you are stopping at this point. Again, please don't do that. You've got to finish it off by creating your image. So you have to show the point after the translation and then label it X prime, okay, or X comma, okay? So, we have been doing how to transform points. Next, what we're going to do is how to transform objects, okay? So, it's the same logic. So, we've got a line here, XY, and we want the transformation AB on the line XY. And remember, lines can be described, line segments are described like this. We've got a transformation AB. So, it's no different. All you're going to do is you're going to still line up your set square with the line, okay? And you're still going to slide it down and draw the line traveling from X. But you're also going to draw a line traveling from Y, okay? Now what do we do next? Well, we're going to measure this transformation, okay, so we're measuring 4 centimeters. So we're going to measure 4 centimeters from X, okay? Mark that off, X prime. Now, normally, if I was getting you girls to do this in front of me, I would actually draw a very faint line between X and X prime. I'm just drawing it stronger so that you all can see it, okay? And then I do a similar line from Y, right? And I label Y prime, and then I'm just going to connect these two lines, and you'll see here, okay, this line here is obviously this line after the transformation AB, and that's why it's so important that we measure out the distance of our image, that we measure everything out, and that'll be the image of the line XY, or X comma Y comma, okay? Let's have a look at a triangle, okay? So I didn't label this. I'm just going to label it AB again. I'm not being very imaginative with my naming conventions, but whatever. So we've got the transformation AB, and we have got the triangle XYZ, okay? Again, we're just going to transform each line as we go along, okay? Each point on the object. So again, we're going to line up our set square with the right angle where we're going to place our ruler, okay? Slide it down, draw a line from X. Again, I'm going to draw it stronger than I normally would tell you girls to do in class. Again, you do need to be able to see it. Slide it down again, draw a line from Z. Slide it down again, draw a line from Y, okay? So If we didn't measure this out, you'd notice this would just make a line, and you'd know that you weren't making the correct triangle. So we do have to measure it. So we're going to, I'm just going to move one or two things away. There we go. We're going to measure this. We're going to go, okay, this is about 3.5 centimeters, okay? So we're going to measure out 3.5 centimeters here. And we'll mark off our point X prime. We're going to measure out 3.5 centimeters here, lining it up with this kind of guiding parallel line. Mark it out here. 3.5 centimeters here. Line it up. Mark out Y here, okay? Now we're just going to connect each of these points. So we've got Y prime, we've got Z prime, we've got X prime, and we've got, with a comma. Now, just going to go mark off the triangle, and I'd say, again, use pencil and just make the triangle super clear, okay? So we can see, okay, each point of this object has moved the transformation that AB is calling for, okay? So let's look at one last example. So we've been given this rectangle here, okay? And we've got two questions. What's this rectangle under the Actually, I'm going to move this away from here, and you'll see why in just a second or two. So I'm going to just label them part 1 and part 2. What's the rectangle under the transformation AB? What's the rectangle under the transformation DB? Okay? So AB is going to be from here to here. So we can actually just see, wait a second, that's just going to extend our rectangle, isn't it? So it's going to extend A to where B is, and then B 4 centimeters further. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line this up, to add 4 more centimeters, and we can go, okay, B prime here, A prime here. Because you can see A has moved the distance of A to B, and then B is going to move the same distance forward. Same thing's going to happen with D. So D is going to move the 4 centimeters forward to here, D prime, and C is going to move 4 centimeters forward to here, C prime, and I can just link those up. So a new kind of rectangle under the transformation AB should look something like this, okay? Now, much tougher question, DB. So now our transformation is going to be a diagonal line going from D to B, okay? So now what we need to do is we need to do this same transformation for A and C and also B. So let's first just measure this distance. It's about 4.5 centimeters. I'm going to say it's 4.5 centimeters. It's really 4.6, but we'll say 4.5 just for ease of use. Actually, no, we're going to say 4.6, okay? So 4.6 centimeters, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to line ourselves up so that 4.6 is where B is. And D is like, the line is in line, so we can just go zoom. And that's going to be where B goes, okay? B prime, okay? So I'm going to just do 2 commas just to distinguish it from where D is, okay? And then we do a similar thing for A and C. I'm going to line up our set square with this line, slide it up, and draw a line. Slide it down, draw a line, have 2 parallel lines traveling along here, okay? So this is where D double prime will be, this is where B double prime will be. C needs to go forward 4.6, so C goes to where B is here, C double prime, and A is going to be here, okay? So A double prime, and again we should get a rectangle. Your shapes really shouldn't be changing when you're doing these, okay? If it's a simple kind of straight line transformation. There's no reason your shape should change. It should be the same shape, it's just going to be moved somewhere else. So you can see that this rectangle here is like under the transformation D to B. We can see that this rectangle here is under the transformation A to B, or the transformation D to C, because those will actually be the same, okay? So girls, for homework, can we do pages 395 to 396? Do questions 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 10 for me there. And I look forward to seeing all your work. Bye bye bye.